season. Could we have the 10th? Well, Mehdi Banani getting ready to lead the field away. There you see the grid positions rolling out underneath our cars as they are left to make their final formation lap, the last 2.5 miles before they return to the grid for the standing start of our second race here in Sonoma. Cars working their way round the final formation lap here in Sonoma, led by Morocco's Mehdi Banani. He lies 5th in the Yokohama Trophy standing. Michel Nukia still leading, but now only 5 points ahead of James Nash. Alex McDowell in 3rd. Stefano D'Asti and the rest battling for the scraps from the top table. Looks as though the title will be decided between the two Bamboo Engineering drivers, Nash and McDowell, and Michel Nukia and his Nika Racing Chevrolet. For Mehdi Banani, a great opportunity now, perhaps, to put himself onto the top step of the podium. Let's hear how Tom Coronel is viewing race 2.
For the WTCC here in sunny California, we're being ready for race 2 here at a very interesting circuit. A lot of elevation, very difficult normally for the cars, strong for the BMW. Second race, we have a rolling start, so you have to line up. Sorry, we have a standing start. First race was the rolling start, so that's quite good for the BMW. I will start at P12. I think it should be nice. In the first corner, I expect quite some difficulties, because it's quite normal. It's uphill, and there we will have some kissing, as we call it in touring car racing. Last corner, second gear, and then we will enter the straight. I will have to prepare now for the standing start, so I hope you enjoy the race. Bye-bye. Duncan Huisman, congratulations with your championship.
Congratulations to fellow Dutchman Duncan Huisman, another BMW driver who's won races in the World Touring Car Championship before. 74, Pepe Oriola, looks like he's coming up to speed. He's lost his place on the grid. He is right at the tail of the field as Mehdi Banani comes to the grid. I'm being told from the pit road, Banani may have a problem with his steering on the BMW. 74 is coming into the pits, and the grid is nearly ready to go. Mehdi Banani of Morocco on pole position. Gabriele Tarquini alongside. James Thompson in his Lada down in 16th place on the grid. Rob Huff 3rd, the reigning world champion. Banani's red, white and green, the colours of Morocco on pole. Standing start. So they'll be building up the revs, feeding the clutch to biting point, holding it on the parking brake. Revs rise. These 1.6 litre turbo engines have lots of torque, but they can be tricky to get away. A good start from Banani, a great start from Tarquini. He's one of the best standing start drivers in the field. He's still alongside the tail of the BMWs. They sweep through corner 1. Tarquini is going to take the lead into 2. He does, and side by side are the yellow and black, orange and black Honda of Norbert Mikulits as off goes René Munich, and the other car that was battling for 3rd was Rob Huff. Munich is out at the back of the field. Huff is up to 3rd. 4th place is Norbert Mikulits, orange and black, ahead of James Nash, number 14, and then Thiago Montero. And which of the two RML Chevrolets was in 6th position? My betting is that it was Ivan Muller, who started a little ahead of teammate Tom Chilton. Tarquini is going, and Banani can't keep the BMW in tight in this early lap. The BMW's tyres will take a little longer to really come into full working temperature than the front-wheel drive Honda or Seat, and that will leave Banani in the opening laps at a disadvantage. 4th there is Mikulits, 5th is Nash, 6th Montero, but Muller's going inside him. Muller needs to be on the podium to claim the championship here no matter what else happens, and it looks as though he is determined to get there. Further back, the two Ladas wheel to wheel. Kozlowski inside Thompson picking up a place, it seems. Change for 16th. Tom Coronel's BMW there as he is being challenged again by Mark Bassang, the 38 car, the red and black allinkle.com Seat Leon. There is Thiago Montero, 2nd in race 1, following the RML Chevrolet of race 1, I beg your pardon, of Ivan Muller. Yes, it is Ivan Muller who's in front of Montero, who's 3rd in race 1. This is the view from Norbert Mikulits and Rob Huff as they battle for third. Tarquini at the line is going to be a second and change clear of the second place man, our pole man, Mehdi Benani. Third is Rob Huff. Fourth is Mikulits. Really close to Huffy as the Seat leads this little queue up the hill. James Nash, the white, grey and blue of Bamboo Engineering. Right behind him, we're on board with Yvan Muller, champion-elect. Needs 12 points, I think 15 points more than Michel Nukia, and 9 more as Huff pulls off. Huff dramatically slows. That's not a driving error. There's something more going on there. Huff was third. Looks like he'll come out of that corner. 8th, 9th. Struggling. He's dropped out of the field entirely. Not sure what's up with Rob Huff, but he's gone. Last year's race 2 winner here in the first ever World Touring Car weekend at Sonoma. Tarquini leads in the red, white and green Honda. Third now in the orange-black Honda. That is Norbert Mikulits. Norby to his fans, of which there are many, many tens of thousands. Certainly when we go to Hungary, there's 100,000 baying Hungarians just screaming his name. Drivers say that when you come down the front straight in a race, all you can hear is the crowd over the noise of your own engine. Bearing in mind, these are not road cars with soundproofing. They're hollow boxes with racing engines and open exhausts. Muller up behind James Nash. Nash in his turn trying to put pressure on Mikulits, and Muller with Montero behind, who's having a really good weekend here in California. Jago Montero second in race 1. He followed Tom Chilton's red and white RML Chevrolet all the way, so he'll be getting pretty bored of seeing the red and white Chevrolet of Muller in front of him. Replay of race 1. Lap 2 completed for the leader. Tarquini still just a fraction under a second in front of Benani. But Mikulits dropping back 1.5 seconds back now. Mikulits is on his own, can't hold the speed of Tarquini and Benani. Nash defending from Muller. We've been here before this year. James Nash got onto the podium a couple of times this season despite intense pressure from Yvan Muller. And when Nash claimed his first race in Slovakia, it was a massive day for him. Right front puncture for Rob Huff. Contact with somebody then, and that's why he dropped out of the race. He heads into the pits. He'll pick up a new tyre. Whether he rejoins or not really is a little academic. He's going to be so far back. There's no time in these 13-lap sprints to make up any lost ground. Battle for fourth. Muller showing his nose. Is he coming? Not this time. The secret to James Nash staying in front is to ignore the fact that Muller is attacking. Don't overdrive the car. Don't throw it on the curb there. Push yourself out wide for the next corner so you can't get on the gas early enough, because this long, sinuous run down the hill requires that you start it fast if you want to end it in front. Down into the braking area for turn 9. Again, brake as late as you dare, but do not pay attention to what Muller is doing. Put the car in the right place on the road, he's going to struggle to get by. Puncture changed by the Munich Motorsport team. Running 3 cars in the championship. Still James Nash holds off what is now a growing queue. Tom Coronel's on the back of it behind Thiago Montero. So Nash 4th, Muller 5th, Montero 6th, and Coronel in 7th position. Behind them, Mark Basseng also going quickly. Last lap round for the German driver, 49.1. The guys in front also doing 1 minute 49.1s. James Nash keeps them bottled up. Fastest lap of the race last time round for Norbert Mikulits in third. 1 minute 47.8. 1.3 seconds quicker on the last lap alone than James Nash, the man you're looking at now in car number 14. So Mikulits is on the charge. Has got fed up of being 2 seconds behind the leader and is trying to close that gap down. The gap here between Nash and Muller barely varying. It's not even a third of a car length between them as they corkscrew their way downhill through turn 6. Muller's got a little run going, but Nash is going to force him to go to the outside, the long way round, because the next corner is a right-hander. Muller's going to look to the inside. He's got his undercut through. Through he goes. It's a double right-hander. The road is in favour of Muller. Well judged, and Nash has to tuck in right behind his back bumper to stop Thiago Montero's red, white and green Castrol Honda chopping in as well. Muller's fourth, Nash is fifth. Muller is one spot away from the podium, but he needs to outscore Tarquini, the race leader, by 15 points to win the championship here. Tarquini leads the race, Muller only fourth. At the moment, Muller's championship chase will go on to Japan at least. On board with Tom Coronel, past the drag racing control tower. Look at Thiago Montero sending it up the inside. Showed his nose early, telegraphed that to James Nash, but the door was open. Nash could do nothing about it other than cause an accident. And that's not the way they like it here. Robbins Racing, as Tom Coronel was saying, maybe a little tap or a little kiss, as they call it in European touring car terms. It's a phrase that's understood by everybody racing in North America. Robbins Racing, cynical disposing of the opposition, definitely is not. Driving standards advisor here, former British touring car champion John Cleland, will not look favourably on anybody punting a rival out of the race. On board with Coronel, looking down the inside of James Nash. He's there, he's on the curbs, but he's got enough space. Nash has to open the door again, sees Coronel coming, and has to open the steering, widen his run round the corner, and Coronel moves up. James Nash is down to seventh. He was fifth last lap. Tarquini leads. The gap is stable, 1.2 seconds ahead of Mehdi Banani. There is Tarquini, and Banani very out of shape there. Mikulits is closing in fast. Last time round, Tarquini 148.6, Banani 148.7, and Mikulits 148.8. Mikulits' fastest lap 2 laps ago, halved the gap almost between him and the Moroccan BMW in second place. There is the Hungarian driver. We're hoping to have a two-car team of Hondas this year at Sengo, but they didn't have enough cars arriving from Honda. Spin for car number 7 here. Yikes, Charles Eng, a drift champion, and a man who also, like Darrell O'Young, learned his racecraft here at Sonoma Raceway. Well, he's used to having the car on big handfuls of opposite lock, but it doesn't work for him there. Tail breaks away down the hill. He was in 15th place. He just got by Mikhail Kozlowski's Lada. That incident happened. In fact, Kozlowski had just dropped off the back of James Thompson's Lada. Thompson now closing in on Alex McDowell in a battle for 13th below me as Gabriele Tarquini climbs through corner 2, over the brow, off camber, then through 3 and 4, and now dropping down through turn 5. Sweeping again uphill, over the crest, on the brakes, down into corner 6. Ivan Muller, like the man in front of him, Norbert Mikulits, just locking up the inside wheel. The road drops away dramatically from you through corner 6. The driver's still on the brakes to control the front end of the car. Unladen inside wheel, just momentarily stationary, locking and leaving a little puff of smoke hanging in the air. There's James Nash with the 73 BMW of Freddie Bart right behind. Swiss driver all over the back of Nash. Nash struggling with flu this weekend, has felt really dreadful all weekend. Just about struggling through today, but it looks as though either he or the car is not in 100% form. He does not normally drop ground like this. Stefano D'Aste. There's our race 1 winner, Tom Chilton, in 12th position, struggling to make up any positions. Darrell Young's BMW in front. Ivan Muller, incidentally, who was second in race 1, saying that he'd set his car up for hotter conditions than actually transpired. There's the smoke from the fire in the valley next to us. Race 2. Air temperature, track temperature definitely higher than in race 1. Little dab on the brakes there from James Nash to stabilise the car as he sweeps through 1 and climbs the hill. Q behind him, Mark Bassang, Freddie Bart, Stefano D'Aste, Darrell Young, and our Cameron car here, Tom Chilton. Dropping out of turn 4 here, and again, corkscrewing down the hill. See, the elevation changes really dramatic here. Drop 3 or 4 stories from the crest at 3A down to turn 5, and another 3 or so, 4 perhaps, as you corkscrew down through turn 6. Gabriele Tarquini, our race leader, 1.5 seconds ahead of what is now a 2-car battle for second. Bernani no longer a second and a half in front of Mikulits. Mikulits has whittled the gap down. Morocco versus Hungary. Not exactly 2 giants in motorsporting history. The man from Marrakesh, Mehdi Bernani, is a real favourite back home. Since we started going to Morocco 4 years ago in the World Touring Car Championship race on the streets of Marrakesh, he's become one of the country's top sportsmen, was honoured by the King in his birthday honours last month, with a couple of their Olympic medal winners from the London 2012 Games. And Bernani, from fairly humble motor racing beginnings, has fast turned into one of the country's big sporting stars, as has Norbert Mikulits. Hungary, a small motorsporting nation with one stellar driver straddling the rest of them. Norby is a big hero back home. Ivan Muller, well, he comes from a town that already has a 9-time world champion, world rally champion Sebastian Loeb, from the same part of Alsace. And Ivan Muller will join Sebastian Loeb in the Citroën team when they change from the World Rally Championship and come World Touring Car Racing next year. They have bought perhaps the best, most experienced driver, who also happens to be French and Alsatian. And it was a chance conversation between Loeb and Muller that perhaps led to Citroën coming into the championship. In any case, he offered Loeb a drive in his Chevrolet at a test. Loeb was so impressed when he was looking for something other than rallying to do. It was he that suggested to Citroën they might try the World Touring Car Championship. From small acorns to mighty oak trees grow. There's James Thompson in his Lada, currently lying in 14th place. Lada second in the Manufacturers' Championship, that Honda lead and look likely to seal here today. Ivan Muller had hoped to win the championship here. He lies in 4th place. That in itself is not enough. He also needs to outscore Gabriele Tarquini, the race leader, by 15 points. And he's definitely not doing that right now. So Tarquini is doing as much as he can to keep the championship alive. Michel Nukia, who lies 2nd in the championship. Tarquini's 3rd, incidentally. Nukia, starting from the back of the grid, 22nd place, is up to 17th. But he's not going to score championship points here. A 0-0 will be perhaps the death knell for any chance of him stopping Ivan Muller's march to the title. Chilton looks inside O'Young, who drifts out a little wide, trying to chase the throttle on the BMW, just inducing oversteer, car getting loose in NASCAR racing parlance. So a thing they like a lot in the front-wheel drive cars. You keep the front wheels pointed in the right direction, let the tail move around a little to help steer the car. Here, for instance, you want the tail drifting a little to help the front-wheel drive cars' tyres with the work that they have to do, braking, steering, and putting the power onto the road. So the front-wheel drive cars, perversely, tend to be loose. Rear-wheel drive cars tend to push a little more in their natural setup. European types who don't understand push and loose. Push defined as understeer, and loose is oversteer. So Darryl O'Young trying his best to hang on in that yellow and red Royal Motorsport BMW to 11th place. His teammate Tom Coronel is in 6th. Coronel was 7th in race 1. Oh, and here comes up the inside of James Nash, Freddie Bart. Nash again drifting away from the apexes at turn 7 and 7A. Door wide open for the Swiss driver's BMW, and through he went. So change there. Nash goes from 7th down to 8th. Bart up to 7th. And still there's a queue behind James Nash, all hoping to do the same thing. Long queue of cars here. Alex McDowell further back. Yokohama Trophy points scorer, top point scorer in race 1, 4th overall. Mehdi Bernani, 2nd place, will give him the maximum points for the Yokohama Trophy in this race. O'Young having a go at Mark Basseng. This is for 10th place. Basseng in the red and black Seat. O'Young in the red, white and yellow LKM BMW. June finished on the podium in the GT classes in the Le Mans 24 Hours. He also races Porsche Super Cup. He's a double winner of the 12 Hours of Bathurst in Australia in Audi A8, R8 LMS cars. He's a multi-talented driver, races in the Far East as well. He's just come back from China, where he has started a karting academy in China. So lots and lots of work. Somehow managed to get married last year. Quite how he and his now wife managed to end up in the same country even on one weekend, given his schedule. Quite remarkable. Darrell Young now with Tom Chilton in the red and white Aeon Chevrolet behind. The race 1 winner is in 12th position, while Gabriele Tarquini still in front of this race, almost 2 seconds clear of the battle for second spot. As we check in with Darrell Young, again attacking Mark Basseng for 10th, and again trying to defend as well from Tom Chilton. And here's the problem in a queue. Young got onto the curbs, bounced the car up in the air, couldn't get the gas down, and so couldn't get the power on the road. Basseng survives another corner, and Darrell Young did well to recover from that. Often if that, then you end up giving ground away. This is the battle for second. Benani, Mikulits and Muller in the 12 car, on board with Ivan Muller. Well, the Frenchman won't be overly worried about not seeing the championship here. His game plan this year has been win when you can, take points when you can't. If this was the race for the chase, he would still be leading it. We've had 9 race winners this year. Ivan Muller rather greedy has hoovered up 5 wins to himself, but 9 out of the 17 races so far, different winners. That means that a lot of points at the top step of the podium have been spread around a lot of different drivers, and that is why the consistency of Ivan, seconds and thirds following just as often as victories, has put him at the top of the points pile. Muller is not a driver to give up easily. You don't accidentally win 3 World Championships. And it would seem he's going to win a 4th here as well. Tom Chilton struggling a little further down the field. He's in 12th spot, battling in the queue with Darrell Young behind James Nash. As his teammate gets inside for 3rd, but Norbert Mikulits has the road come back to him. However, statement of intent there from Ivan Muller. He's got tyre to spare, and the Honda, shorter wheelbase and a little more aggressive in nature, may be starting to run out of front tyre. And that means no traction, no braking, no grip, baby. Muller put his nose in. Was wise not to turn Mikulits around. He's made that mistake before and paid the penalty. Tapped leader Engstler out of the race here last year and got a drive-through that ruined his second race. Won race 1. It does seem that suddenly, and here you can see the Castrol Honda team, suddenly Norbert Mikulits is struggling for grip in 3rd place. No dramas for Gabriele Tarquini. 11 laps in the books, 2 to go as he works lap 12, and look at the big slide from Mikulits. That's loose at the rear, and that's what Muller wants to see. We saw Chilton, said Chilton was in trouble. Look at that. That is a massive handful of the opposite. Gets just too deep into one. Tail steps away down the hill as the road runs away from him over the dirt. Young, it's a gimme. Just holds the line, waits for Chilton to shoot straight across turn 2. Through he goes. Well, that is a classic indication of what happens when you are 1 car's width offline. Mikulits dropping into 6 here a little wide. Doesn't want to do that very much because that opens the door for Muller. It doesn't help Mikulits if he gets knocked out of 3rd if Muller gets a drive-through, because Mikulits won't get that 3rd place back. The secret to defense is to keep your formation, and that is exactly what Mikulits has to do. Line and length, keep the car on the right part of the racetrack, don't brake overly deep, don't try and do anything that you wouldn't normally do on a quick lap. A little puff of smoke into the chicane. That's the unladen rear wheel this time. Looking back from Norby, here comes Ivan. Rushing back down the hill from the chicane, through 10, down to 11. Round Gilligan's Island we go. Nearly gets a little love tap from Ivan to push him out of the corner. Norby is used to pressure. Mikulits can really work with the driver breathing down his neck. What it has done, though, is freed up Bernani in second place and Tarquini, the race leader, 2.3 seconds clear. And again, Muller's viewpoint of the orange and black Zengo Motorsport Honda stepping out as it takes a set up the left-hander in turn one. And again there, look, again, watch the tail move much more than the steering angle of the car suggests. It's a good thing when it's under control, but if the tyres start to go away at the rear because they're overheating from sliding too much, then the effect is exaggerated many-fold. Behind Muller, incidentally, still Thiago Montero in his Honda, so Muller can't afford to be reckless, because if he does make a mistake trying to get by, Mikulits gets held up for some reason, then suddenly Montero could be by them both. Are they closing now on Bernani? Looks like the Moroccans made a mistake. Mikulits very defensive into 7. Muller's right with him, trying to get his nose inside. Mikulits knows the danger, keeps the door shut. Here the straight cut gears in a sequential gearbox, like a motorcycle gearbox. You pull the lever back just to change up, flat shift, keep your foot buried, the electronics work out, dipping the power. You don't use the clutch pedal, just bang it up through the gears, and the same on the way down. Drivers will predominantly be braking left-footed, so hard on the brakes, modulate the throttle with the electronics, bang it down the gears as you need it. Here to go clank, clank, clank into gear. Just in front, Gabriele Tarquini coming out of 11A. 12 laps in the books. He goes on to take the checkered flag. Victory for Gabriele Tarquini. 13 laps out front. Took the lead from Mehdi Bernani at the start into turn 2. Alessandro Mariani, the boss of Yasport that built the cars. There are the pro team that run Mehdi Bernani. Another fantastic podium result. Second for them. But Gabriele Tarquini taking the victory, and Thiago Montero in 5th guarantees the World Championship for Honda as manufacturers. Thiago Montero started Honda's campaign, a single car entry in Japan last year. And when they come back with a full factory effort to Suzuka in Japan, Honda Land, there's a very emotional designer, Andrea Adamo, wears his heart on his sleeve, and a big heart it is too. He has designed the World Championship winning car, and Zoltan Zengo there. Bright, sunny conditions in Sonoma, California. In victory circle, Gabriele Tarquini. The Italian now moves up to 2nd in the championship ahead of Michel Nuccia. And Ivan Muller is still the race leader. Gabriele's got to remember to unplug his radio and take the door net out of the way before he can get out of the car. And down there is Jack de Root. No, down there is Ben Constantiouris. Gabriele Tarquini, 51 years old and still a race winner, and he has brought the experience to help the Yasport team and Honda and Mugen translate a program into a championship. He and Thiago Montero have struggled with reliability, with setup issues, with speed occasionally in the car, but they have put together a consistent and determined campaign. Honda are the 2013 FIA World Touring Car Manufacturers Champions. Well, Ben Constantiouris is down there waiting to have a word with Gabriele. And you've got a moment or two, might get a chance to have a word with the head of Honda Motorsport, William de Brecquelaire, whose brainchild this has been for a number of years. And there's Mehdi Bernani, the Moroccan driver, and the pro team. Bernani again, 2nd place, equals his best career result in the World Touring Car Championship. There's Andrea Adamo, the designer of the car. Ben is ready to talk to Gabriele.
A fantastic victory here in Sonoma in the second race. A very important victory for Honda as they wrap up the Manufacturers' Championship for 2013. Gabriele, an extra special moment for you.
Yeah, it was a fantastic qualifying yesterday because I planned to be 10th. Unfortunately, Nukier was disqualified. It was a little bit too tough, but I make a great start. I mean, to overtake a BMW in front of you is something with a front wheel traction that is something like a masterpiece.
And then the laps, obviously a very hot race out there.
Yeah, very hot race. I was a little bit afraid about my front tires, but I used my first race just to set up the car, and the car was amazing. I can have also a margin, but I saw Benani wasn't close to me, and I decided to take the same pace of him.
Congratulations, Gabriele. The winner, Gabriele Tarquini. Let's get Mehdi Benani in as well, who was second overall, but also the Yokohama Trophy victor. Mehdi, not quite the victory, but certainly a lot better than what happened here 12 months ago.
Yes, last year I was here. I was leading, but I do mistake. This year, we do it. But I was very, very tired after the race because my steering was totally broken and I have to drive without only mechanicals. So every time I tell to Andrea, the team manager, that I have to come to the pit, and they tell me, try to follow, you have to good lap time. But this victory and this podium, I give to the King of Morocco because I was decorated by him, and it's something very special because after 2 weeks, I am here in the podium in the Grand Prix of USA.
Fantastic. Enjoy the podium ceremony.
Thank you.
So Mehdi Benani wins the Yokohama Trophy, second, his equal career best World Touring Car result, and Gabriele Tarquini claims another win to add to his illustrious career. Benani, with broken power steering, still finished second from pole. Two busy races here in Sonoma. In the first, Tom Chilton claimed his first ever World Touring Car win, and in the second, Gabriele Tarquini claimed career win number 19. Mehdi Benani finishing in second place, our Yokohama Trophy winner ahead of Norbert Mikulits.
And now the Italian national anthem.
So the winning driver's anthem, Gabriele Tarquini of Italy. And for Honda, the winning constructor, the Japanese national anthem. Well, congratulations to our top three, to race winner Gabriele Tarquini, career win number 19 for him. Mehdi Benani equaling his career best, finished in second spot and winning the Yokohama Trophy. And Norbert Mikulits there, taking the bottle of wine for third place. From Steve Page, the president and general manager here at Sonoma Raceway, California. Mehdi Benani, another win for him in the Yokohama Trophy. There's Zoltan Zengo on the right, his driver in third place. And Gabriele Tarquini, 25 points for victory. 19th of his career and his second this year. And that is enough to confirm Honda as the 2013 World Touring Car Manufacturers Champions. So, Mehdi Bennani winning the Yokohama Trophy. And from Yokohama, USA, Mr. Zach Denico will present him with another bottle of wine. So we'll get our drivers together. Do not drop those, Mehdi. That's going to make a big mess. So in beautiful wine country here in Northern California, in the Sonoma Valley, the jewel that is Sonoma Raceway, providing the playground for rounds 17 and 18 of the FIA World Touring Car Championship. And again, a fantastic welcome from everybody here at Sonoma. It's a wonderful, wonderful facility, and there's not a person in the World Touring Car paddock that is not thrilled to be back here and looking forward to the chance to come and race here once more, to take on this challenging race course, to enjoy the gorgeous Californian weather, and welcome. So to everybody here at Sonoma Raceway who has made this possible, from the officials to the track workers, to everybody who has helped with the transportation and logistics, and to everybody as well in our US TV crew for the World Touring Car Championship television. A huge congratulations on a job well done, and thanks for all your efforts. Thank you for joining us then on the CBS Sports Network, on Eurosport, and wherever else you're watching around the world. Until we meet again from Suzuka in Japan for rounds 19 and 20 of the World Touring Car Championship, it's goodbye from California and the Sonoma Valley. We'll see you next time out.